A man is in jail tonight after being charged in the deadly shooting of a young woman in Afton. Family members are speaking out about their heartbreaking loss as the investigation unfolds. Fox 2's Kelly Hoskins has more on the heartbreaking details.
Imagine a life brimming with possibility. A young woman radiating light, courageously embracing her true self, and building a future with unwavering determination. Now imagine that vibrant existence extinguished in a flash of unthinkable violence, behind the seemingly safe confines of her own home, by someone who claimed to love her. This isn't just a tragic tale, it's a chilling expose of how quickly love can turn into a weapon, and how an unspoken secret can become a death sentence. Hi guys, grab a cup of coffee and settle in for this thrilling true crime story. I'd love to know where you're watching this video from. Let me know in the comments. Don't hesitate to join the conversation too. Your thoughts and input are a vital part of this story. Welcome to 24/7 True Crime Chronicles, where all our stories are based on true crimes. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you won't miss any of our newest stories. Okay, let's continue with the story. On a quiet spring night in Afton, Missouri, the peace of a residential street was shattered by a horrific act that would forever alter countless lives. Kelsey Ellum, a 25-year-old transgender woman known for her infectious humor, profound generosity, and unwavering advocacy, found herself in a desperate struggle for survival. Her heated argument with her boyfriend, Martino Lewis, spiraled catastrophically out of control, culminating in a single gunshot that echoed through her home, leaving an indelible mark of heartbreak and fear. Kelsey's story is more than a recounting of a brutal crime. It's a stark reminder of the deadly consequences that can unfold in the shadows of domestic violence, particularly impacting vulnerable communities. Her loss sent shockwaves through her family, friends, and the broader St. Louis community, leaving behind a void that words can barely describe. Her mother, Kelsey Ellum, grappling with unimaginable grief, described her new reality as a dreamlike state, a surreal nightmare from which she couldn't wake.
My baby was taken away from me by a young man, supposed to have been her friend, that she was taking care of, that she had so much, she wasn't in love or none of that. It was just about the heart and the care that she was trying to support him and help him.
Kelsey's sister, Zoria Martin, lost her best friend, a light who could brighten any room with her presence. This narrative delves deep into the life and tragic death of Kelsey Ellum, exploring the vibrant spirit she brought to the world and the devastating circumstances that led to her untimely demise. We will examine the tumultuous relationship that set the stage for this tragedy, the terrifying moments leading up to the shooting, the immediate aftermath, and the ongoing quest for justice. Her story illuminates the critical importance of recognizing red flags, understanding the dynamics of abusive relationships, and advocating for those who face similar dangers. This is a story that demands your attention, not just as a true crime account, but as a crucial lesson in empathy, vigilance, and the relentless fight against violence. Don't look away. These truths are essential, and recognizing the warning signs could be the most important thing you do today. Kelsey Ellum was more than just a victim. She was a force of nature, a 25-year-old born in Atlanta with dreams as vast as the sky. She moved to St. Louis, Missouri, ready to carve out her own path, unafraid of hard work. At just 18, she was already juggling 2 jobs, working tirelessly at retail stores like Hollister and even managing a McDonald's. This wasn't just ambition, it was pure, unadulterated hustle. She bought her own car, secured her own apartment, and was meticulously building a future, brick by painstaking brick. Her aspirations extended to a career in healthcare, where she trained as a medical assistant, calling herself a caregiver on social media, a title that perfectly encapsulated her compassionate nature. Her mother, Kelsey Ellum, would tell you Kelsey possessed a heart of gold, the kind of person who would literally take the shoes off her feet to help someone in need. She was known for her consistent kindness to strangers, always ready to assist the homeless or anyone facing difficult circumstances. Imagine someone so focused on their own success, yet always extending a hand to uplift others. Her generosity knew no bounds, a rare quality that illuminated every room she entered. Kelsey didn't just walk her own path, she paved it, especially when it came to embracing her authentic self. She had recently embarked on her transition, finding immense joy and pride in her journey as a transgender woman. She was open and unapologetic about her identity, celebrating every step of who she was becoming. This self-acceptance wasn't just personal, it fueled her advocacy for the transgender community, where she used her voice to empower and give strength to many who faced similar societal challenges. Just a day before her life was tragically cut short, Kelsey shared a raw and powerful message online. It was a declaration of self-acceptance, defiance, and pure joy. She described her transition as epic, urged everyone to love your life what people say, and proudly proclaimed how proud she was of herself. This deeply personal and triumphant reflection became more than just a social media post. It was Kelsey's last public whisper, a poignant final statement to a world that, unbeknownst to her, was about to be rocked by a devastating secret that would cost her everything. This message, full of hope and pride, twisted into an unimaginable tragedy, leaving us to wonder not just what happened, but who could do this to someone who loved life so fiercely? Kelsey was out there living her truth, building a life, supporting her chosen family, and extending kindness to perfect strangers. Yet, like so many stories that turn dark, her biggest battles weren't fought on the streets or in a courtroom. They were behind closed doors. Kelsey was in a romantic relationship with Martino Lewis, a 21-year-old man, 4 years her junior. According to Kelsey's mother, Kalanita, this relationship was far from a fairy tale. It was a constant grind, marred by incessant arguments and escalating tension. They've always been arguing for some reason, always getting into it, Kalanita recalled, her words echoing the painful reality of their dynamic. Martino Lewis was, to others, a quiet, low-key individual, often avoiding eye contact in public, yet active in DMs in the dark. He worked odd jobs, subsisting on cash apps and ride shares. But around Kelsey, he seemed to have everything. She paid their rent, bought his clothes, and cooked his meals. While Kelsey was diligently building a future, Martino was, in many ways, hiding from one. For Martino, dating a trans woman wasn't just taboo, it was a perceived threat to his ego. He didn't want his friends or family to know, didn't want to be seen in public with her. Yet he craved her love, her money, and her unwavering loyalty. So, he kept her close, but invisible, fostering a tension and secrecy that ultimately consumed them both. This dynamic, where one person pours everything they have into a relationship while the other merely takes, is sadly common. Kelsey was constantly supporting, taking care of, and helping Lewis. Her mom often stated that he had nothing, not a dime. This imbalance doesn't just drain a bank account, it systematically erodes one's soul, laying the groundwork for something far more dangerous. Perhaps you've witnessed these signs in someone you know, or maybe, just maybe, you felt that creeping unease yourself, that knot in your stomach when you dismiss a small argument or ignore that little voice screaming danger. What if the next time ignoring that feeling costs someone everything? Don't live with that regret. Don't miss having the knowledge that could save a life, even your own. The tension between Kelsey and Martino wasn't merely talk, it was a slow-burning fuse, inching closer to an explosive end. On the night of April 24th, 2025, that fuse finally ignited. The culmination of arguments, frustrations, and unacknowledged resentment collided in Kelsey's home on Grace Avenue. A confrontation began that would quickly escalate beyond words, beyond reason, into a brutal, terrifying struggle for her very life. The quiet of that St. Louis street was about to be shattered forever. The clock ticked past 11 p.m. on Thursday, April 24th, 2025. What started as just another night in Afton, a quiet suburb of St. Louis County, became anything but. Inside Kelsey Ellum's home on Grace Avenue, the long simmering tension between her and Martino Lewis exploded. It wasn't just yelling anymore, it was pure, unbridled rage. An eyewitness, whose name remains protected, someone close enough to hear the awful sounds from inside, knew immediately this wasn't just another argument. Voices escalated, sharp and desperate. Then the witness saw it, Lewis lashing out, punching Kelsey in the mouth with such force that she started to bleed. The physical assault, a brutal turning point, ripped through any illusion of safety. Kelsey, terrified, knew what was coming next. She had a gun for protection, and she feared Lewis would get to it. With her voice trembling, Kelsey pleaded with the witness, a desperate, urgent command. Call the police. As fast as they could, the witness dialed 911. The phone pressed to their ear, relaying the frantic situation to emergency dispatchers. Every second stretched, agonizing. You can almost feel it, right? That breath-holding moment, hoping help arrives, hoping it's not too late. But while that 911 call was still connecting, still searching for a lifeline, a single deafening gunshot ripped through the receiver. One shot, then a chilling silence. In the immediate aftermath, the witness watched, stunned, as Lewis bolted from the house, jumped into Kelsey's car, her own black sedan, and sped away into the night. He didn't check on her. He didn't call for help. He just took her car and left her to die. Why did he do that? Where was he going? And what did he leave behind in that shattered home? St. Louis County Police responded to the disturbance call on Grace Avenue at 11:15 p.m. They found Kelsey Ellum suffering from a gunshot wound. She was rushed to a nearby hospital, but despite all efforts, she passed away. She was gone. Just like that, a life so full of promise extinguished. But the story didn't end with Kelsey's last breath. It merely shifted. The hunt for Martino Lewis began immediately. He was apprehended in St. Louis City shortly after the shooting, still driving Kelsey's own car. When confronted, Lewis admitted he'd gotten into a fight with Kelsey that night. That much he couldn't deny. Here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Lewis wasn't just fleeing the scene, he was actively trying to rewrite the narrative. He handed a firearm to another witness and spun a wild tale. He claimed Kelsey had been shot while they were driving, and he had taken her to the hospital. Think about that level of deception. In the immediate aftermath of a violent act, his first move was to create a lie, hoping to throw investigators off his scent. But eyewitness testimony and the crime scene itself quickly demolished his story. The truth was far more brutal. Kelsey was shot inside her own home, exactly when she was trying to get help. The evidence didn't lie, even if Lewis did. On April 25, 2025, less than 24 hours after Kelsey's murder, the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office formally charged Martino Lewis. The accusations were heavy: second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and domestic assault third degree. They weren't just charges, they were the law's stark interpretation of his actions. He was accused of causing Kelsey's death, of using a firearm to commit a felony, and of physically assaulting her within their relationship. Lewis is being held on a $400,000 cash-only bond. No 10% option. That kind of bond screams serious, signaling the gravity of what the authorities believe he did. He's presumed innocent, of course, until proven guilty in court. But the chilling details of this case, they make you wonder, don't they? Some folks watch true crime stories and think that could never happen to me. They see the pain, the betrayal, the senseless loss, and still scroll right past the subscribe button. If you're one of them, tell us. Drop a comment below and enlighten us. Seriously, we want to know. It's still like a shocking to me, expressed Kalanita Brock, Kelsey's mother, her voice laced with profound grief. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still like I'm in a dream. This is the new, harrowing reality for Kalanita after losing her youngest daughter. St. Louis County Police confirmed that just after 11 p.m. on Thursday, a fight between 21-year-old Martino Lewis and the woman he was in a romantic relationship with broke out in the 5800 block of Grace Avenue. Charging documents state that an eyewitness overheard an argument that Thursday night. However, it was Kelsey's family who clarified that the dispute escalated rapidly, with the man they called Tino punching Kelsey so severely in the mouth that she began to bleed. They always been arguing for some reason. I always stayed into it because my baby was trying to... She's a legend. She was trying to do her things, Kalanita explained, her words painting a picture of Kelsey's independent and ambitious spirit. Yet, the relationship with Lewis was fraught with conflict, despite Kelsey's consistent support. But this was one that she was always supporting, taking care of, helping. This a dude that she was doing all this stuff for, and this is what you did. The raw pain in her voice was palpable, highlighting the devastating betrayal. Documents reveal that Kelsey, fearing Lewis would retrieve her gun, desperately asked the witness to call the police. While the witness was on the phone with 911, a gunshot echoed through the home. The witness then saw Lewis bolt from the house and speed away in Kelsey's car. Less than 48 hours later, Kalanita Brock, who shared a close bond with her daughter, faced the agonizing task of cleaning out the home where Kelsey was killed. All that blood and brains and whatever that's in her room, that was bow. That was nothing about drop on the floor. No, nothing, she recounted, her description grimly illustrating the horrific scene and the unbearable burden placed upon her. Zoria Motton, Kelsey's older sister, emphasized how truly amazing Kelsey was. She can light up the room. She very playful. She funny. She outspoken. I can describe Kelsey in so many ways. She was just a light. She was my world, my best friend. Her words painted a vibrant picture of Kelsey's personality, her infectious energy, and the profound impact she had on those around her. Family members also highlighted Kelsey's unwavering advocacy for the transgender community and her consistent kindness to strangers. She'll take her shoes off her feet and give to the others plenty of time, family member recalled. Every time we ride past the homeless, she always gives everybody $1. She makes sure you hungry. She's just one of them type of persons that always looked out for everybody. As of now, the legal proceedings against Martino Lewis are ongoing. The court dockets await the next phase, whether it be a verdict, a plea deal, or a full trial. Kelsey's family and countless others continue to wait for the full course of justice to unfold, for accountability to be served, for the night silence fell on Grace Avenue. But what could possibly be revealed in court that hasn't already chilled us to the bone? The sirens eventually faded, and the crime scene tape was removed. Beyond the emotional devastation, there was the crushing weight of practicality. Kelsey did not have life insurance, leaving her family completely blindsided by funeral costs. Her mother had to initiate a GoFundMe campaign titled "Support for Kelsey Ellum's Funeral," just to cover the expenses. The community, though stunned, rallied, donating thousands to help honor a life cut short. Her funeral service was scheduled for May 9th at Nash Funeral Home in East St. Louis, a somber gathering to say goodbye. Later, a candlelight vigil was held at MLK Riverside Park, a space for collective remembrance for those who loved her, to find a flicker of comfort in shared sorrow. This story, in all its raw, painful truth, is a stark warning. It's a chilling reminder that hidden dangers often exist where we least expect them. Within relationships, behind closed doors. It screams about the critical importance of recognizing red flags, of listening to that gut feeling when something just feels off. And it underscores the harsh reality of violence, particularly against vulnerable groups like the transgender community, whose struggles often go unseen until it's too late. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the family of Kelsey Ellum. We do hope she gets the justice she deserves. If you watched this far but still haven't subscribed, I have to ask, what more would it take? These stories matter. These victims matter. Hit subscribe now, join the 24/7 True Crime Chronicles family, and become part of a community that refuses to look away from uncomfortable truths. Subscribe now and help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Your support means everything. Thank you for watching to the end. Until our next true crime story, stay safe.